DoorDash and how it's been for us. And so I'm just gonna get my camera all ready. I wanted to just kind of talk to you real quick, not to make it too long. We're probably going to be about maybe 5 minutes or so. Usually whenever I do DoorDash or I do this, I used to do like some kind of a sculpting or thing. So I have Blizzard here. This is a Blizzard McGregor here in the corner. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of talk with you a couple of points real quick. Number one, I have 3 points that I want to share with you, and then pretty much I want to talk to you about what's going on in light of just DoorDash in the next 3 weeks of the changes that's been happening. So if many of you don't know what happens, I live in New York. And in New York, what happens? They have this new thing they've been doing, and the new thing they've been doing is that they've been working at giving us whenever we don't make it to $29 in an hour. What they do, they round up your numbers to $29.93. So if you make more than that, $30 an hour, then what happens? They don't round it up; you just leave it as is. But if you make more than that in 1 hour, then they go ahead and they raise up your base pay. So what works is that it only works when you're doing active driving. So as you're actively driving and you're doing these things, what ends up happening is that you're encouraged to take every order, and so by taking every order, you're not letting any offers go off the table. Well, I mean, not every order. I don't take any liquor orders. So all liquor orders, I just let them skip. But for every other order, be it a $3 order, be it a $10 order, be it a shop and deliver order, what ends up happening is that you end up like you take it because you know that as long as you're active, you have a chance of getting more money doing this, as well as the fact that now every time you look at the DoorDash thing, they don't have any tips. There's no tips in the description. It's just a little bracket there says no tips. I'm actually putting together a little animation for you on that, so hope you guys like that as well. Anyway, for the most part though, in terms of I have 3 questions. One of them is talked about saturated markets. Number 2, better offers, and the last one is should I give up, right? So in the thing I put, don't quit, don't give up, because what happens is like, you never know how this is going to turn out, but there's going to be a point where at some point we're going to say, I'm done, or I'm going to take a break from this. And that's kind of how it works out, for everything. That's how it works out for everything. So for the most part though, let's talk about first and foremost, should I give up? Whatever reason you have for joining, or whatever reason you have for becoming part of driving is your reason. My reason I started driving was I wanted to do something that's flexible, and so pretty much I have a side business I've been working for a number of years, and what I've been doing is that I've been actually just working on all of my just animation and or eBay and things like that. And so now recently it's been adding to the whole masking tape art and everything like that. So I do that on the side. So what happens when I'm in between orders or in between just pretty much I need money like today, what happens is that I go out and I drive and I do DoorDash and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool for me. So for the most part though, you have it where I do that. It's also a chance to get to be with my family. So for me, it's actually a really good blessing because I get to be with my kids and my wife and my kids. Each turn take turn, my older kids and stuff, they take turns being with me as I go drive. And when I do that, it's really good because as I do, I get to spend time. We listen to videos. Like last night, we're listening to this thing about the unidentified flying humans, the ones that I keep seeing flying humans all over the place, like Superman kind of a thing. There's alien sightings all over the place. So what happens is that I can't watch it obviously because I'm driving, but I get a chance to listen to it, and then my daughters and I, we react to it, and then my son, we talk about different things as well. So for the most part though, it's like I gotta pretty much why do you drive? We drive for the sake of being with the family as well as paying bills, and pretty much it's pretty exciting if you think about it. It's kind of like an adventure. You give an assignment, you give them like an assignment to do something, and when you go out and do it, it's really cool. It's like it's one of those really cool things where you get a chance to kind of accomplish a mission in a certain time. I was always about that. I was like the whole mission, accomplish mission life, like secret agent, secret mission, do this quicker, kind of thing. There's that one. Next one you have saturated markets. Now here in New York City, that's one of the things talked about is saturated markets. And being in New York, one thing I learned is that New York is a very big place. And so the thing is, like, I don't usually drive during the daytime. I drive daytime just when I really, really, really have no choice, but I need to. So what happens is that I drive in the daytime and I go about like just doing some stuff. And let's see this flyover here. It's like okay. So what happens is that it's one of those things where as you are driving, see, there's different times that you can drive. And so one drive, if you drive in the morning before breakfast, and you have afternoon and you have dinner. So I usually drive in towards the evening. The reason why I drive towards the evening is because it's less traffic, especially in New York City, and there's less police outside, so that's always better. And then also you have you can park easier. So it's like when I drive at nighttime, I go late into the night driving, so that kind of makes me have really interesting days and mornings and stuff. But for the most part, though, as for saturated markets, yes, the markets are saturated. point so that when you try and drive, sometimes you don't get something for a while, and that's something that you got to be mindful of because as the wheels are turning, the car is breaking down. I mean, it's just not. It's there's wear and tear on the vehicle every time you turn the wheel, so it's like eventually, it kind of catches up to you. So if you're not getting an order after a certain amount of time, you start wondering like, should I really continue doing this? But you got to be wise about that. You got to go to zones, or don't go to so much to zones. It's like the zone will find you. It's like at first I thought it was like that. Kind of pick a zone. Don't worry about being the center of the hotspot, but definitely keep your scores up. It's all about your scores, right? When you have your scores, make sure your scores are high and good. So one is like, should I give up? That's up to you, yes or no. Saturated markets, yes, pretty much everywhere. When you have an opportunity to do something that that's pretty much a simple type thing, but it's not simple. Never think DoorDash is a simple job. It's a matter of dealing with public relations, having to navigate situations, going in blind. It's really like a spy work you're really doing. Because I mean, like you think about like how it is. It's like you're going into a place you've never been to before, meeting a stranger you never met before, delivering food for them. Not sure what it is, but you got to keep it warm. And if it's shop and deliver, you have to know the layout of the store, and hopefully you live in a neighborhood so you know exactly where things are in the store. And if you can't, you have to ask for help. And that's pretty much better offers. I've had a lot of really good offers lately. I just lately for me, it's like my scores have gone up a lot, and it also has come down a lot too because sometimes a customer doesn't have to give you a negative or a one for you to mess up. They had to give you just instead of a 5 to give you a 4, or instead of a 4 to give you a 3, right? And so just to do that, instead of it being like the highest number, if they bring it down, they bring your whole score down. So I was at a 5.0 at one point. I had a perfect score, right? And sometimes, anyway, so I had a really good just track run with everything. And then what happens, like a customer doesn't give you a 5, it gives you a 4 instead. And when it gives you a 4, it brings your entire percentage down. You give two of them, give you a 4, brings your percentage down even more. So I went from a 5.0 to a 9.3 to a 5.0 to a 4.93 to a 4.85. Now I'm back to 4.8, 4.87. If you drop down too far down, what happens is that you actually lose your placement, not to mention your acceptance rate. Now, I don't accept any of the alcohol. I don't want anything to do with that. I always wonder about the different types of food that you get anyway, too. I mean, for example, people eating food and they have the different foods that they eat. But for the most part, though, it's one of those things where I mean, I can't have to draw a line somewhere because the alcohol thing. It's like there's a whole story about that, and what I mentioned before in the past. Anyway, so number one is saturated markets. Yes, you got to be able to work around that because you know what, you got to be the best in your field, do the best you can. But just understand that it's like you're gonna get offers, and if it's kind of an added incentive that you just keep driving, and do the shift that you select. If you get a chance to dash now, you dash now. There's the thing we're doing scheduling. They're worrying about the whole scheduling thing, but for the most part, though, if you do scheduling, then you're an employee at that point. You have to schedule when it's because they're giving you almost per hour wage and they're giving you a set time. So you're almost like I'm working at a regular job. But the thing is like, you have to definitely figure out what you want to do. I'm looking at my notes here, my little notes here. Let's see. So the new perks make it better, make it a lot better for you to drive. So on my third week, this is my third week of driving with the adjusted, and I found the first week was really good because you're not sure exactly how much it is, so you're really hustling. The second week was like you're not sure exactly, so I don't know if it actually worked out better. I didn't put that here in my thumbnail, but you'll see it. That pretty much said the difference there. Definitely, I don't multi-app. I just use DoorDash. I have that one, and I do all my other stuff. I do my YouTube videos, and I do my animation, and I do my masking tape artwork and stuff like that. I taught a couple classes last week, and that made it really good. And so for the most part, this week I got stuck in an elevator. I told you about that on the shorts, that I got stuck in an elevator for like a few minutes, maybe like 2 minutes or so. But for the most part, though, it wasn't as bad as it was. I didn't start gnawing off my arm, gnawing off my arm or anything like that because I was in the elevator stuck for that long. But anyway, so I had to go one flight up and then walk one flight down to go back to the customer's house. Anyway, so I just wanted to just kind of touch base with that, let you know how things are going. Yeah, I'm gonna go out driving tonight by the grace of God, and I have to do an oil change. I'm due for oil change. I didn't even know that, so I got to go work on that and change my own oil. Yeah, you can go to a place and have them do it for you, but it's crazy money. It's almost the same, almost, but it's like the thing is that you just know you're taking care of your own car, and you're maintaining it yourself because it's good to do that, for the sake of the apocalypse. So if you are able to, make sure you can take care of your own car, you might need to, we're trying to flee from New York or something later in the future. So yes, with all the perks, a little later. it makes better. The later you go, the better offers you get. So because less people, and I don't know if it's a better offer. I think during the daytime you get the best offers. Honestly, I've done a couple daytimes and I was able to like make a lot of more money really quick during the daytime. The only problem is that I drive a car. I don't have the scooter, so it's hard to park. One time I had a Target order. I had to go down to where I live. I had to go to Target. First thing was finding parking, and that took forever. The second thing was when I got there, they didn't have the item I needed, so it was a waste. So I ended up got half of the amount, and it took me so much time to get it, and it was just kind of wasting my time. The first time I ever got like a strike on my DoorDash was the very first time I did. It was December 23rd, 2021 when I first started, and very first order I had to go from where I am here by like LaGuardia Airport all the way down to like JFK, right? Because I didn't know about the settings that you can actually change your settings during rush hour traffic. So I went from here. Before I went there, I had to go to Chick-fil-A, and a Chick-fil-A order I had to take forever just to get down the block to Chick-fil-A was backed up traffic. There was an ambulance. After that, getting from Chick-fil-A, went all the way down to like Springfield Gardens, which is like so far away from where I am, and it took like an hour. It took an hour to get the food, an hour to get to the customer, and pretty much I was my first run, very first run. I got two strikes on my first run, two, right? So with the two strikes I got, that really messed me up. So I was on edge because I don't want to get third strike. Get third strike, get deactivated. So now it's like pretty much by the grace of God, I don't have any more strikes because I've been driving for so long. I did 2015, 2015 orders I've delivered, and so that's like in the last 2 years I've done. So I mean, I probably could have done more, but I drove it the way where I did. Like there's other people like Bet on You, Pedro Bet on You, Santiago. He just hit 10,000 or something like that. So anyway, 10,000 drives. So I'm at 2,000 drives, which I'm pretty hopeful for. I'm very grateful for. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys. That pretty much, yeah, you don't give up. It's not the end. We know they're cooking up something for us. Good to get known with other markets, know other markets, other people in the gig economy of DoorDash. Look and see if you can find other people to get in contact with, because what happens is like you are there's things going on in this country. It's kind of like you go to a store, right? And in a store you have all these different things all over the place. And this is what kind of what DoorDash is doing to us. You have all over the place, and each thing is selling. You're not sure which one product is making the best deal for us, but we know they're testing different products. They're testing different things in the store to see what's gonna pop. Now, they might be going towards a whole, employee type thing where we buy time, or even more where they're gonna give you worse and worse orders because it's already bad, because worse orders than the ones you already have, because right now you take every order because you know that they're gonna get it rounded up to 29. But if they take that away and they establish with the customers that the customers don't have to tip anymore, then that's another thing there too as well. So yeah, so pretty much that's kind of the thing that's in my mind, because the more you drive, we're training the AI, we're training the robot to take our place. We're training the robot to take our place. So every time we drive, we're teaching it that how long it takes for food to be delivered. We're teaching how long it takes for automatic cars to do what we're doing, for the drones, for the cars. So we're training the machine, training the AI, and they got lots of data. So they can always just sell our data and information to the robotics companies and have them deliver food for us. But then that thing might get into the buildings and stuff. You have to only get delivery. You have to come the people to come down and pick it from the drone or something like that. Not to mention people, people are crazy when it comes to robot stuff. They'll come and they'll attack the robots, or they'll hijack the robots or something. I mean, like, just pray for us as we go out there and do DoorDash every time, because every day we go out, I always pray. I have my family, my wife, my kids, and we go with us sometimes. Not all the time. Like, we take different shifts. Like, I'll go one day with my wife, and one day with my son, and one day with my daughters, and then pretty much, and I go to these places and do the delivery, and always be mindful, because you don't know who's watching you. But nevertheless, just pray for wisdom about what to do, because when you look at this stuff, they're constantly working on us. But if you go ahead and you do the best you can, you just pray. God says just it says sow your seed in the morning, and plant your sow your seed in the morning. I think it's Ezekiel, Ecclesiastes. I gotta look it up. But it says plant sow in the morning and reap in the evening. And so pretty much you're working in the day and in the night, and you have goals you want to do, and God wants us to be faithful when we do anything, right? So be faithful to be the best driver you can be. Be the best driver you can be, and do the best you can, because you never know how it's going to play out. And also just don't just you know don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. You can get disappointed, but don't get discouraged. Just kind of like figure out ways to make it work for you. Okay. Not to mention, it's like you'll always find perks. You'll meet a person who gives you a big tip. Like I had a number of big tips, even though it wasn't mentioned there was gonna be any tips. It was a high order, and they still gave me a big tip on top of that. I was like, oh my god, it's like $15 tip. I was like, what? Kind of a thing. So that's like really good because they like your service, they like your smile, they like how you carry yourself, and be positive because you don't know the other person on the other side. Again, it's a secret agent type work. You are accomplishing a mission in a set time, to people you don't know, and a building you don't know, shopping for things you don't know, having to ask people for stuff, and it's very task oriented. Get the task done, move on to the next task. Get a task done, move on to the next task. If you look on the things on mine, it says I did about 3 orders per hour, and that was about 2 hours and 42 minutes. That's about almost 3 orders an hour, and it all came out to 8 hours. About 3 hours. My math felt crazy, but if you see the thumbnail, that it says that's how much it is anyway. That was $63 in about almost 3 hours. So that's not too bad. That's about maybe like I won't do the math. Okay, so it's $8 a trip, pretty much, all right? So about $8 a trip. So anyway, but then if you do it all together in an hour, that's about $24, $24 an hour. So it's not too bad. But what happens is when they round that jammy up, it's gonna be even more. So because that'll be 30, 30, 30. That's 90, and you got 63. It's another $30 you got to round it up to. Okay, but not one day. So that's pretty good. That's very good incentive. That's encouraging for people. So anyway, so I just wanted to keep it short. I don't want to be too long on this, but thank you so much for watching my program today, and I wish you all the best and God bless you. This here is Blizzard. He's one of my many Gremlins. You can see this is like one of my many Gremlins. Yep, so he's there. And if you want, please write me in the description. You can find me One Life Must Art, and please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about my channel, and if you have any comments or anything you'd like to talk about, or have any questions, please let me know. All right, so God bless you. Talk to you soon. Alrighty, and bye. I wish you all the best. Safe travels. Okay, peace.